just like us, growing in years. We the goal to make a change of the world around your race. They've been able to set the pace.
Today, we shine the spotlight on a woman who has carved a bold path in both family and professional life, standing out in sectors dominated by men and exceeding expectations with grace and grit. We present Mrs. Olufunke Iyabo Osibodu, an accomplished banker, finance expert, and investment strategist whose leadership spans across multiple sectors of the Nigerian economy. She is not only a successful wife and mother, but also a distinguished role model for today's aspiring youth and women. With well over 3 decades of executive experience, Funke Osibodu, as she is popularly called, has held top leadership positions, including being the first female CEO in Nigeria of a privatized electricity distribution company, as well as the first female CEO, top executive of 3 major banks in Nigeria with African and international footprints. She rose to global recognition in 2011 when the Financial Times ranked her 47th on its list of the world's most powerful businesswomen, the only African woman on that list. She led transformative reforms at Union Bank of Nigeria, bringing transparency, discipline, and innovation into the system, in addition to playing a vital role in the local and international smart card and cashless banking revolution, all prior to Union Bank. She also was an integral part of the creation of the first coalition of electricity distributors in Nigeria to standardize the sector and ensure fairness and transparency in power distribution. Born in Lagos in January 1959, Funke Osibodu, then Funke Davis, attended Holy Child College, Obalende, Lagos, the University of Ife, Ile-Ife, and the Harvard Business School, USA. Her leadership record includes board roles at African Finance Corporation, AFC, HFC Bank, Ghana, Union Bank, the United Kingdom, Shell Nigeria Closed Pension Fund Administrator Limited, SNCPFA, and various other national and international boards. Until 3 years ago, she served as the MD CEO of BEDC Electricity PLC. She is currently a Board of Trustees member of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, NESG, a member of Board of Trustees of Elizade University, Chairman, University of Lagos Business School, ULBS, as well as being a director within the Vigio Group. As a recipient of numerous awards, Funke Osibodu is an honorary fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers and a lead ambassador for Nigerian women on boards under WIMBIS. She also received the Episcopal Award for her outstanding service and devotion to the church and humanity. Beyond her professional achievements, she is a passionate collector of arts, plants, and natural artifacts, a passion that inspired her choice of one of the most exquisite nature-rich locations for this episode's recording. Married to Mr. Bolade Osibodu, they are blessed with 3 sons, Toby, Tosin, and Tolu. Their amicable wives, Abimbola, Simi, and Joanna, and adorable grandchildren. Welcome to the world of rare achievers. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Youth Engage. With us here, we have Mrs. Osibodu Funke.
Thank you very much, Ma. Ma, I would like to know, was there a particular time whereby perhaps the society, institutions, or people in position of power tried to define you based on your background and beliefs, and how were you able to redefine that narrative?
First of all, in our days, there were not too many women that were career women. In fact, in banking, I'm known to be one of the few that broke the glass ceiling, if not the first that broke the glass ceiling in reality. And so, but fast forward again, go back. By doing my NYC in Nigerian Acceptances Limited, which was an American institution at that time, where their methodology and approach was very informal and really encouraging you. After my NYC, I went to another institution called, at that time it was called Nigerian International Bank. It's now called Citibank, still an American institution. Before I went to NIB, I went to Chase Merchant Bank, an American institution also. Yeah. That's where I started my formal banking career. But in Chase, some people that were trained by Citibank to come and start NIB in Nigeria were in Chase. And when they were leaving, because they saw that this lady seems to have, they're hardworking, have the right attitude, they invited me to join them in NIB. And that's how I moved to NIB. All those institutions were institutions that did not discriminate. So I started my career not feeling because you are a woman, you cannot do certain things. However, the society still discriminates. So when you go, I was working in corporate finance, I was working in treasury. When you go marketing, I saw the way you looked. People will look at you and some will insinuate, some will not take you serious. I used to enjoy it. And I'm saying that to you two ladies. One of the best things that can ever happen to anybody is for people to underestimate you. Yeah. So when you do something small, it looks like it's big. So they used to underestimate me. This one is just fine face, small girl. So when you speak and bring out some serious this stuff, the guy will have to work far harder to surpass me. So discrimination, you turned it into your own positive side. That's one side. But even with that, even in university, I had, I'm sure some of you face it, or you've heard about your colleagues. It happens, it's still happening, where your teacher makes passes at you. Some succumb because that is the reason why they feel they have to pass. Very few ladies refuse. And I didn't think twice before refusing because of my background, my Aguda background. And you know what? It was in the days of fail one, repeat all.
Repeat all.
I repeated. It didn't kill me. A lot of us believe that if I don't do well today, that's the end of life. But most of the time we have longer years. So it's not how long we have spent, it's what we put into the future. So When I failed that one, I failed also. I recognize why I failed though. It was political science. I wasn't serious with it. And I just marginal, maybe like 2 marks below pass mark. And I repeated the whole year. And I said to myself, never again will it happen. I didn't blame the man because I still failed. I failed. I did not succumb because it would still have been in my conscience. But that failure 1 year, if it had to happen to me again, I would do it again. Because it made me far, far more serious than I would ever have been. So, bottom line, in your question, you will be tested in different ways. Whether you are female or whether you are male. But I happen to believe females are more tested than men. But you know what? You see this? We women were the neck. Men are the head. The men, are you hearing?
Yeah.
You are the head. And by Bible, you are the head.
Yes, sir.
Eh? But have a stiff neck and see whether the head can survive. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you make sure that you have a neck that is flexible, that can think of anything, do anything. I've seen people that can turn their neck to the back. They created the flexibility. You will achieve anything. So it doesn't matter what happens to you. It will happen. It is still happening. When you guys start job, some people will discriminate against you, whether you're a boy or a girl. Doesn't matter. You just be sure of yourself. And if you believe in God and you've read your Bible verses, you know that some setback are for what? A higher lift. So you look forward to, and all my setbacks, when I look back, I say, thank God it happens. At that time, it's not easy. I will question, but there's always a future because life continues until you go.
Okay, you had a very, very successful career in banking. You are one of the most, if not the most, accomplished female banker in this country. But for some reasons, you had to switch over to the electricity distribution company. What transitioned that?
I had finished in banking. I had been banking MD for 3 banks. In fact, I had left banking. If you look at my profile, I had left banking and joined the family business. It was the CBN governor at that time, Lamido Sanusi, when they wanted to turn around about 8 banks and they were looking for ex-bankers. That put my name and said, Funke, join. I said they were not serious at that time. I didn't even take it serious. But they still went ahead and put me in Union Bank. And that's how I came back to banking. And after finishing my assignment in banking, I still went back to family business. My husband's company, Video, they were the ones investing in electricity distribution. So I was just using my background, helping them to put things together, including financing, until they now needed MD. And between them, him and his other investors, they said, why can't your wife go and be the MD? That's how I landed in electricity business. But everything happens for a reason. And God's reason is always the one that we all don't know. When I looked at all the things I did in banking, there's none that is not relevant to what I was doing in that electricity business. So, in other words, it was a building block that I never knew. And it made a lot of difference. So, whatever business you find yourself in, is not the business that matters. It's how you apply yourself and the different things you put in place. And life is always a building block. There's something you know before that will help you.
Ma, being a woman with several achievements, What's one truth about success you didn't discover till you had achieved it?
When I was in banking, I had this program, and all newcomers, all young newcomers, training program. My people named it Funke School of Banking. 6 months or 1 year, and I always take them for the first and this last this thing, and it is all about personal development. When I joined electricity business, I did the same for new recruits. And what was it about? Personal self-development. And one of the part of it, I say, imagine yourself dead. Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Imagine yourself dead. What do you want people to say about you? And we do the role play. All of them laughing. They know each other, saying things and everything they will say were good things. Nobody will want anybody to say any bad thing. So now check with yourself whether all those nice things they are saying about you, you are that person. If you are, die now. It's time to die so that that legacy will come. If it isn't, continue to improve. So if you ask me, success, yes, there are many milestones I've achieved, and people will look back and say they are successful. Sometimes I tell people, this is your card business that you are doing. There were 8 of us that got together that created the environment for it, and it was under a company called Value Card. Every time I see people using that card, I feel elated because we were part of it. And you can say so many other things like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there's no one thing that you will say you are successful. It is the various things you know you contributed to that made a difference in life. And as long as you are alive, you want to continue to contribute to have that success. So I'm still waiting for my one single success that I can say, but there are so many milestones that I will say I've done well in, but it's a continuum.
Looking back at UBA, I believe that was one of Nigeria's most chaotic banking reforms. What advice would you give somebody that happens to be in that kind of situation?
Union Bank built and brought a lot of things out for me. It was my first foray in a seriously political environment, seriously unionized environment. And being close to 100 years old institution, so many people were emotional. And then given what the government decided to do about bank failures, so many people didn't believe Union Bank would one of it. So if I were to look at it, among all of them, all the banks at that time, it was one of the toughest. But at the end of, fast forward, at the end of the period, it was the last man standing. It was the only one that did not become merged with another or taken over because investors. Part of it was because I listened to the sentiment. Do we really want this bank to disappear? And the brand, we had a very strong bank. So given that, look for investors rather than just erasing 100 years of history and name. But while you were inside there were so many parties that were fighting you. From inside, from outside, some even within government, etc. As long as you are focused on what you are there to do, even at some point, some of them went to meet the president and told the president that the people that want to buy the bank, she's the one that wants to buy it. She's just pretending like somebody's buying, all sorts of stories. which is normal. And the president called this young girl. I'm hearing this. And the governor says, let her buy this. After she has married, but we send EFCC and the others after her when she got the money from them. So the president then said, who is the person? And they mentioned my name. It's Funke, forget it. Continue. How did he know me? When he was governor, the state government had accounts with us in my former bank. And as the MD, of course, he will go around. And he got to know me. And he got to know who is. So your past will always speak for you. That's number one. And you don't know where it can become helpful. The moment he could situate who they were talking about, and this is somebody I know this, I better continue. That was how, in the very early stage, people, that is President Goodluck Jonathan, it was very early stage, there were people that who wanted to get you removed because you are a woman and she can't handle it, she can't do this. And of course, they started their plot. But that plot, God used it in which way? To clear the path for you so early that after that, no matter what they say to governments, they don't listen. So Union Bank wasn't tough. When I entered electricity business, that one na national tough. So that building block in Union Bank helped me in my electricity business. When Union came to fight me, I just pull out all my trump cards from this. We don't know say this woman tough like this. But people will talk good of you only after you have looked. And only there's something to say good about. You just face your own, do it well, never mind all the noise around.
So, ma'am, when we look at your childhood based on what we've read and what you've said, you didn't grow up poor. So how do people who don't have these opportunities, who are not exposed to opportunities like this, how do they work towards achieving success? Oh, sorry, you told us that success is not based on what you achieve. So how can they achieve more in life?
It's about focus and perseverance. I mean, I'm sure you read about various people who were dropped out of school and they became, in quotes, successful. You've heard about people with poor background who became successful. Background can be helpful if you use it right. But what defines you is what is inside you and your attitude to life. Everything is about attitude, not about where you came from, not about your parents having money or you having money, not about the environment you grew up in. It's about your own attitude that will propel you. If you are brother and sister, you can never be the same path in trajectory. If you are twin self, somebody will veer this way, somebody will veer this way. God has made each one of us unique and unique to be successful. It's our attitude that makes the difference. Let me start with some of the information that I want to disabuse your mind on. That in the olden days, we had curriculums that were fantastic. That's why we're able to make progress. Now the curriculum is not as good. And so, of course, in everything there can be improvements. But you know what? You are luckier than all of us. You know why? There's so much available online. You don't need to go to university to be educated. Free from even top universities that you can read on your own and learn ahead of whatever they are teaching you. You even know more than your teacher. Would you have that? You are much, much more privileged to learn so much. The only thing stopping is laziness or not being willing to do it.
Others like us, growing in years, with a goal to make a change of the world around your race. They've been able to set the pace. Today, we engage them with passion, hoping to learn of their ways, to be legends of our future. So I'll feet on the prints